Hey guys! Welcome to our members only live video. We thought it'd be fun today to show you guys a new paint finish. We haven't done channel member specific paint finishes in a while, and our next channel member video will be some more like business nuggets of goodness, but today it's going to be all about using the new products that we have and talking about whatever you guys have questions on, because that's how channel member lives go. So we're going to be using the new IOD transfer wander. Here, I'll slowly show you.
You guys are seeing it first.
Well, I mean, IOD's been putting them up every hour, but
Did they use it?
they superimposed them on dressers. There's a little secret. Those dressers were painted a long time ago.
Well, we'll say this. You guys are seeing it before everybody else that watches our YouTube channel
That's
sees it.
right. And we are going to go ahead and at 12:15 we'll be live for every YouTube subscriber, and we're going to show off every single transfer, hopefully, and get them on mirrors and windows. But we're using this one first. Oh, YouTube starts with the live with an ad. Sorry, that's annoying. All right, so we are going to be using the wander transfer. So these are the colors that we've decided to go with. We've got cake batter. Right here, this is going to go underneath. Then show them the other two colors though.
All right, so you'll have to remind me the colors because I didn't know.
So that's Tavern Green by Farmhouse Finishes, but it's the same color as In a Pickle by Sweet Pickins.
Okay, so Tavern Green. And the Farmhouse Finishes is different. It's already got the bond added into it, so it's less chippy. And then what was this color? I didn't see.
That's Ocean by Sweet Pickins, and it's also, it's also in Farmhouse Finishes. It's another, they have it in Farmhouse Finishes, but I can't remember what the name of it is. Where's the box?
I have the cheat sheet here somewhere.
Where's the box that was in here?
It's a lot of names to remember and what crosses over.
Oh, Sea Green. Sea Green. In Farmhouse Finishes.
Yes, Ocean is sea green.
And in the shop, it's Sea Green by Old Fashioned Milk Paint, but it's the same as Sweet Pickins Ocean.
There's the list if you really want to know.
So we're just...
Pause it.
I know. So I'm starting off with DIY paint and cake batter. I pulled some colors from the transfer because we want to get like a textured finish. So we're going to be using the heat gun. Oh, the UPS man is here. He'll just leave the box.
That's all right. He can just leave them on the back. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down here. We're gonna be using the heat gun quite a bit today. Hopefully it's not too loud for you. Everybody always says they can hear, so I'm gonna just go for it. But if we don't, we won't get this finish nearly complete, but we wanted to show you start to finish.
Well, and we picked this dresser up for $50. So I think that was a pretty good deal. And it is an antique. So if this hurts your eyes, I'm sorry. The good news is that people in Europe have been painting antiques for a long time.
So one of my favorite things, we went to Monet's garden, and his whole house was painted furniture. The entire house had painted furniture. There was only maybe one or two chairs that weren't painted, and he had all these fun finishes and different two-toned effects and things going on in the house. And I don't know, when did he paint that? Probably late 1800s, early 1900s is when he did that painting. So, you know, we were thinking to ourselves, everybody complains about painting antiques, and they've been painting them for years.
Yeah, lots of painted furniture in Versailles.
Oh yeah, tons.
So lots of bright, fun colors. I know Dion's been working on a inspired piece by Marie Antoinette.
All right, let me show you here, because we're heat gunning this. We're getting some crackle out of the DIY paint. I'm not going slow. I'm just letting it crackle and do its thing. Hopefully I didn't get too close. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we can see it. I'll go back to comments in a minute.
So I'm just going to heat gun these drawers, and then we will get the next layer of paint on there. And what we're going to do, we have the two colors of milk paint, because the drawers are going to get one color, and then the base is going to get another color, and the yellow will hopefully tie that all in, that cake batter color.
I don't know.
And then we're going to put the transfer on it. We'll see. We'll see if we get
I
time.
don't know if the transfer will make it on this video.
We may have to, if you don't see the transfer on this video, we'll be doing it at about 12:15. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
we'll be live again today for everybody at 12:15.
But only our channel members get to see the paint finish.
Yeah.
We'll come show you what I'm doing over on this other dresser when he's done with that.
I can show them right now. Lots of moving the camera, so I apologize in advance.
The lady that sold this to me, I don't think will be too happy that I painted it, but...
It's going to be awesome when it's done.
I'm a little short.
So we're not worrying about how messy it is or how many brush strokes are in it. We're just gonna go.
And we will clean up the drawer edges.
Yeah.
No,
Well, it'll all get distressed before we put the transfer on.
I can never get the step stool open.
You have to pull the latch on the top.
I did. There we go. All right, I'm going in to the tippy top. I'm wearing an apron today. It's a good day. Channel member live. We have new transfers coming out. My parents are coming in on the airport. And it's lash day. I got my lashes done. And I ran 2 miles, so that's always good.
Here in just a sec, I'll come zoom you guys in and you can see the crackle on all these drawers. It's different in different places because Jamie's putting it on just kind of thin and thick and going all willy-nilly. So that part won't really matter for this. This is basically like an undercoat. Right, can you move the camera back over here? Here, see if we got any questions.
Okay.
Hey, you moved the camera right on me, but they can't see what I'm doing.
Well, you're so cute. There you go.
I don't know. Can you guys? It's crackling like really good right here.
Oh, they said it's not too loud at all. And Krista Roche says she needs a heat gun because watching paint dry is not fun.
Yeah, no. It does. It does. I mean, you can burn your paint, so be careful to keep it moving. I got a little hot right here, but it'll be all right because we're putting a couple other coats on this.
So, Kim, hold on. Let me check that name again. Kim said she got her Paint Pixie brushes today for her birthday. Sorry, Kim got her brushes for her birthday today.
Happy birthday.
All right, so I'm going to come in and layer some Tavern Green on here. We did not sand this at all. And we are not going to add any bond to the milk paint or to the, well, Farmhouse Finishes doesn't need it, but we're not doing any bond. I mix it a little thick, yeah. I don't mix it 1 to 1, but I just do a little less. You can get
So
it
are you not going to go full coverage over the yellow?
Don't you worry about it.
So Jamie's, so she said this is my master plan, but look at her playing and having and doing her own thing.
You're the man with the heat gun.
I am. I'm going to go heat gun over here.
No, I'm going to come bring in the ocean around the edge, so I'm doing green in the middle.
So I wasn't going to blend it like that on mine. I was just going to leave it the solid color and let the yellow come through. But now we're blending. It's all right. It's going to be fun.
And we're blending. We're not really blending. I will layer it warm. It's chilly. It was cold in here. We had to open the doors because Caitlin burned some sage in here last night and it smelled like a campfire. So I'm happy to have that heat gun. All right, Zeb, you want to come? This is okay in here. Do you want to go?
I'm just going to warm up a couple spots where you got it thick on this dresser. Okay. That way it'll start drying out. I mean, I guess you could brush over it and it'll blend a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be okay. I'm mostly going in the middle.
Okay. I'm going to start heat gunning these. So the heat gun might run the whole time. We're going to give it a workout and see how it goes.
So I've used a pint of each color. I don't know that I'm going to need it. But on the cake batter, I used like 1/4 of a sample. Because it was just for the few little detail areas. You never want to mix up more than you're going to use.
I'm going to pull you in a little close here. So you can kind of see it starting to crackle there. I don't know. There it is. There you can see it. So a lot of that is because we're heat gunning it. Normally this paint would not crackle as much as the traditional milk paint.
But it can chip and crackle. But it generally does.
So the heat gun is twofold. It's helping us speed things along, but it's also giving us this fun kind of crackly look. Got some good crackle on that one. Let's see if I can get the lighting right so you can see it. Kinda. We'll do a good pan. Once I'm not running the heat gun, I'll take the camera off and show you guys a good close-up. So Jamie's just kind of painting that here and there and not worrying about full coverage.
Well, when you have this many coats, you don't really need to.
And we'll see what this turns out like. This is, like we said, we're experimenting live.
When in doubt, I could just spray it all white.
Yeah.
And then distress it. But I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good, though. We've had kind of a stressful few weeks. So it's nice to come in and get a little paint therapy. Alright, where's my steps?
Things aren't necessarily going at the farmhouse how we wanted. I had to call Jamie the other day and do the old Chip and Joanna fixer-upper where, you know, you call and you give them bad news and you tell them you're going to need more money.
Yeah.
We got to move the gas line so that we can pour the foundation, because on the plans I didn't realize that the new garage will be about a foot too far right where the current gas meter is, and it needs to be moved. So I was like, it's going to be probably about $1,000 to get the gas line moved, and we might miss our pour date because we can't move forward until the gas line gets in, and we got bad weather coming this weekend. So it was a thing. that was yesterday.
And I have to buy a cap and gown for my oldest boy, and things were a little slow at the shop last week, and I feel like it was just like a culmination of, I'm like, oh, you need more money, oh, and it's slow at the shop, and, we had a little bit of a slowdown on the website.
Everybody's just saving up for Black Friday right now.
When it rains, it pours. But that's okay, because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Just helps you bust out of your normal.
So this is already kind of got like an old world kind of crusty chippy finish look going to it.
Alright. I'm going back over to the drawers.
They're not ready.
Do you want me to keep that?
I've been going this way, so these first two.
They're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
No, you can keep painting. I'll keep heat gunning.
Alright.
Otherwise, we won't get it finished. All right. I'm gonna look at comments for a sec while I go over and heat gun this. Sandy, her husband's gonna be hiding her debit card now. The new IOD stuff's coming out.
The good news is that that's like it for all the new stuff. So now you know, so you can get all the new paint and all the new stamps and molds and all that good stuff.
Stacy Dean, I'm not sure what the back edge of that is called on the back of the dresser.
The top?
I always just call it like the lip of the dresser back there.
No,
And they come in all different sizes. Maybe a backsplash? I don't know.
The backboard?
The backboard.
I know we've called it something before in the past, but now that you ask me, I can't remember.
When I make them, I always know what they're called, but I don't know. I can't remember offhand right now.
Alright, Zeb, why don't you start
Oh, I didn't show them with you painting that. I've been looking over here.
Yeah, show
Look at
them.
that fun ocean color that came through with the green and the yellow underneath. And it blended a little bit too.
Well, that's because I didn't change my paintbrush. There's a little bit of green left on here.
Okay, so Jamie didn't change the paintbrush.
And I'm going the opposite direction.
She just
Because
kept using it.
When dressers have been painted a lot, usually they have paint going this way and that way. So I'm going the opposite direction now. Deb, can you crackle this though?
You need me to crackle it
I'll
while
come
it's still
over
cold?
here. Yep.
Still cold while it's still wet.
Oh, still wet, and then we'll come back through and we'll wet distress it. It's starting to like give some fun texture in here, and it's pulling up that base coat a little bit, which is good.
All right, hang on. We're gonna go flying so you guys can watch this crackle here. Hopefully I can hold the camera steady.
I have faith in you.
Where's the comment phone? Can you see what I'm seeing?
Will you distress to see all the colors? Yes, we will. Keep it at Amy says layering. And Elizabeth says God has you wrong. Love the back end of the top of the dresser. We have no backboard.
I think you just read all the comments I was reading.
Oh, okay. There's no other comments. They're just watching that situation happen.
Can you see the crackle, Jamie, on the camera?
You can see it happening. You're going a little too much in some areas.
A little too much. That's okay. The sanding will fix that. And if we get back to the natural wood on a few spots, that'll be okay too.
If you don't have somebody to tag team with you, you can do the drawers and then heat gun them and then do the base. You don't have to do it all at once.
I'm just gonna film and walk around while I heat gun. Are you
Stacy
remembering
says,
the other side?
Yes, I already did the other side. Stacy said nice cracks.
Yeah. The feet are actually turning out pretty cool.
Oh, I'm dipping in a different color.
Oh, now you're really mixing the colors up.
Oops, okay, back to the right color. It's like, why is that looking so green? Well, that would be why.
That's okay. We're going for a super chippy, blended looking, been painted 100 times finish.
I'm gonna actually go across this way because I need to get some different brush strokes in here. I already went one way, so now I gotta go the other way. Breaking all the paint rules.
We are breaking all the paint rules.
Oh, it's getting a lot of...
So I got a little too much heat on this one here, and it just raised that right on up off. We might have to go back over.
Yeah, you don't want it super chippy with the transfer.
I was watching what Jamie was doing, and I just had the heat gun held on there. Let me show you. It'll just flake off.
All right,
We'll go back over again. Oh, you're gonna leave the chips and everything on there. Texture.
There we go.
I'll let that dry for a minute. Done, fixed. And now it has some good texture on it too.
So the key in this is going to be making sure that we remove any loose paint and making sure that it's sanded smooth enough so that way the transfer will adhere well. You don't want the transfer to come up later. And we will seal it with a top coat before we put that transfer on. And I usually will come through and sand all the edges, smooth out the inside. You could use a squirt bottle, but the water does kind of activate the milk paint, so be super careful if you use a squirt bottle.
Am I shaking the camera around too much flying like this, guys?
This is too wet, so you'll have to blow dry that.
Okay, I'll come and do the
This
heat gun on
side is
it.
a little bit more. I'd say you're good on the doors. Let's dry that top. I'll answer some questions.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it back on the tripod.
Stacy says her favorite transfer is the lemons. This makes me nervous. I love the look of distress layers, but didn't know how to get it. You can't be nervous.
You just gotta go.
You just gotta go with it. Like worst case scenario, you sand it off and then you paint some more on. I need to put a little more tavern green, I think, on this area here. It's starting to get kind of chippier situation that I plan on.
There, now you can see the whole dresser and everything.
Woo woo! Okay. I'm going to show you guys up close what's happening to the dresser. You have to be willing to have a little unknown. I'm going to be right back. I'll let Zeb talk to you guys. I'm going to go, oh.
Jamie, don't touch the camera. So I've got the top is kind of drying a little bit, but I just kind of chase areas around. Once it starts changing and getting a little more dull and flat, I'll move. That way I don't burn it and crackle it too much like I did on those drawers. And then the front here has some fun blending going on too. And it's drippy in a couple of places. I don't know if you guys have ever painted a dresser that's had a drippy paint job on it before you ever got it, but I feel like the paints that they used to use they were thinner, they were more prone to dripping, and so there usually drips all over an old paint job. Sometimes they're hidden, but a lot of times they're just right there out in the front, on the front of the dresser. Are you cleaning stuff up over there, or wet?
I'm just testing out some wet distressing.
Jamie's experimenting with some wet distressing while we're not watching her.
Well, I'm bringing back some of the yellow. But sometimes I like to do stuff off camera so I know what's going to happen. So that's drawer number 1. We're gonna let that dry completely and then we'll sand it. I'm just using Costco wipes, but you could use a lint-free rag. The lint-free rag's probably better, but it's still a little wet, so I'm pulling off some of the paint in chunks, which helps to stress it a little bit. So you can see on this that the yellow is coming through the crackle. Still a little wet. When can you order the new transfers? We will have them on our website at 12 o'clock Mountain Time.
So in about an hour.
Yes, in 1 hour, Caitlin will have them up. She's already putting them on there on private mode, and then they will go live at noon. And you can buy the transfers then.
Okay, I think this is, here, I'll
All right,
throw a
these
thing
need to
of
be
ocean
more
on the
dry.
top.
You're gonna know.
Where's your brush?
Oh, hold on, it's in the green.
It's okay, we'll do some blending on it.
All right, you go up there with the ocean.
So this is gonna look a lot like the drawers did, just, and you want me to go opposite direction?
I don't. Yeah. Can they see what you're doing?
Kinda.
That's as tall as that goes.
I'll give them a flyover here in a minute.
Okay. What is the color? The blue going on top is Ocean by Sweet Pickens. Or if you buy Farmhouse Finishes, because you don't want it to chip as much, it's Sea Green. Where's that heat gun?
It's right there.
All right. Sorry, this is like less talking.
So we're getting, because we're using the same brush, we are getting a bit of blending of the two colors.
I'm gonna get these drawers nice and dry so we can sand them.
Okay. So Jamie's over there heat gunning. She's not really going for more crackle or chipping. She's moving it pretty quick, just trying to dry it out so it gets dry enough that we can sand it without it just wanting to gum up. We are getting a lot of texture painting the opposite direction like this. I'll show you in just a sec. I'll bring the camera up here. It's catching the highs and the lows of the crackle, and in some places it's not getting down in there. I could probably get the brush in there and just get them real good, but I'm leaving it.
We're getting lots of chips, so this could be an interesting situation.
Oh, you may have heat gunned too much.
No, it's chipping on
It was
its
pretty
own.
shiny, so by not sanding it beforehand, we're gonna get some crackle and some chipping with the heat gun.
Well, with the milk paint does that.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you can see some of that yellow popping back up, and we're getting all kinds of chippiness. Probably two reasons. It's shiny underneath. It's like really slick. You could almost see your reflection in that. And then we've been heat gunning it. It would have probably stuck on there pretty well had we not used the heat gun.
Where's the 220? Bring that in.
But we're getting some fun chipping. I actually don't mind the chipping.
I don't know where.
I don't know, maybe the heat gun or the 220 is still in the truck.
All right, I got some
Oh,
right
I
here.
missed a spot over here.
I'm just standing there if you guys can hear me. I'm trying to remove all the...
Yeah, when the video's done, I just saw a comment, I think. It went by, but I read most of it. When the video's done, we'll put a list of the colors in the order we used them in the description. That way you guys, if you want to try to recreate this look or you like this color blending, you can go back in and find them easy.
So I do not polish my tarnished silver. I had a question. I sell it tarnished because that's the look that most people are going for, and I have a whole bunch of it that I sell in my shop.
All right, so now that she's sanding it, some of that chippiness is actually gone away.
Well, it gets rid of the, you have to remove everything that's loose before you seal it.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop the chipping. You just have to make sure you removed all the loose parts, and since we're putting a transfer on this, it's going to be interesting because applying a liquid top coat might make it chip more, but we've got to do that so that we've got a nice surface for that transfer to adhere to.
Okay, I'm going to keep going on the heat gun on the, oh, you know what, we didn't paint this side over here.
Yeah, you got to paint that other side. I'm just getting these doors finished because this front is where the transfer is going to go, so we got to get that done and sealed. All right, can you guys see what we got going on here? It's actually really pretty. Which transfer are we putting on it? We're putting, is it Wallflower?
I believe
It's right here. It's got paint
it's
all
a
over
new
the
one,
tube.
we've not used it.
Wander. So this is the transfer that's going on it. Wander. Okay.
So I'm just over here off camera painting the other side. It looks about the same as the one side. It would be hard to get the camera back here.
Well, and you gotta do that while it's semi-wet, so you get a cohesive finish.
And we will, if we have any drips, we will sand those off. We won't leave it drippy.
Well,
I don't think this with the transfer on it will lend to the drippy finish.
the nice thing about Sweet Pickins, farmhouse finishes, DIY, is you can get it pretty smooth, even though there's texture. It's powdered when you sand it. You can get it really smooth. All right, that one's done. This one, I don't know. This one over here might be interesting.
Do we need to put another coat of paint on it?
No, I don't know. Why would the initial layer come off? Because we did not wait very long for it to dry.
Well, and we didn't seal, we didn't create any barrier over it.
Yeah, so milk paint can chip even when you seal each layer, but in this case we didn't even seal it. So you see the wood, which is what we want, because if you look at old dressers, sometimes they chip all the way down to the wood and sometimes they chip down to the base layers.
I'm gonna go run and see if that sandpaper is still in the truck.
Okay. All right, can you guys see? Sorry guys, I'm gonna bring you right here so you can really see what's going on here. It's got like omega texture and chipping going on. When people come into the shop and they see something that I milk painted, they're like, they totally think it's an original paint finish. They're like, how did you do that? And I always tell milk painting, people never believe me. Sometimes people don't want to try it because it is, you take a risk with it because you don't have control over it, but no risk, no reward. And I like to mix the DIY paint with it because I add another extra layer and the DIY doesn't chip the way that the milk paint does. We mixed in farmhouse finishes because that doesn't touch, so we were hoping to get a base layer that doesn't come off, but you really would need to let it dry all the way to get that. If you don't want to see the wood underneath or whatever color it is, you need to paint it, seal it, wait 48 hours, then milk paint it. And even then, it may chip all the way down. The chip is strong with milk paint.
Well, it's like
That's
even.
still wet. You need to let that dry. You're getting big
This
old
is
like.
not wet.
That is still wet right there.
No.
Don't. Yes. Deb, don't. You're gonna.
I'm not smearing it.
Okay.
Right, I'm just getting this chippy stuff over here. I'm in a teasing mood today. Watch out.
I just don't want to have to repaint it.
Nah, we'll do that. I gotta get all the loose stuff off.
Yeah, we might not be using a liquid sealer. We might be using clear wax and doing a Hail Mary because I don't think we can put a liquid sealer on this. Because this is so chippy, if we put a liquid sealer on this, it's gonna be not good.
So usually if you paint over DIY paint, it won't chip this much, but because this was so shiny underneath, that's why this is happening. Because we did no prep, we wiped it down and went. We're making a mess in here.
I know.
This one here might have to get a little
Okay,
extra paint.
let it dry.
Well, that one
It's
is still
still
wet.
wet.
This one is
This
not.
one is wet right in the middle.
No, it's done now.
Funny. Maybe I'll go over it with some white paint.
What? Don't ruin it.
I'm not gonna ruin it. I gotta get more paint on there.
What I would do is chip all of that off and then just go back over it, and we won't heat gun it as hard if you don't want it to be that chippy.
Well,
I
I just want it to be able to like have a transfer on it.
I kind of like what it's got going on.
I know, but you're not the one who has to sell it.
It's okay, it can come live with me at the farmhouse.
Use this to blow off all the. Kathy's gonna come in today to clean and be like, "What did you guys do?"
Well, I might sweep a little bit of this out. I'm gonna make Kathy clean it.
All right.
You just can't get that kind of chippy with other paints though. Like you can distress it and make the edges look worn, but the chippiness is hard to duplicate without using the milk paint. Okay,
Those are chipping a little bit more.
are they? This looks like a world map, I love it.
Looks like a world
Look at that.
map. Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay, we need to get more off of this one.
Don't you worry.
Are you gonna repaint?
Yeah.
Are you going back in with white?
No.
Oh, you're gonna do some extra bond.
I'm going rogue here.
This is the opposite of how you would do it.
Well, I need some more, like something to stick it on there some more.
I think it's the heat gun that caused it to do this much chipping though.
I think it's just, the odds are ever in our favor situation.
I'm loving it.
All right. We're gonna get all the loose stuff off.
Okay, I'm gonna lightly heat gun this one.
Okay.
I'll do less heat. It is chipping though, pretty good.
Don't worry, it'll be good.
Try to brush it back so it's not as thick. Like a real thin coat.
Well, I don't want to cover up all those layers we just made. Where's that green?
Over there. I haven't looked. What are people saying about our sudden almost catastrophe?
And it's just paint. Just paint, y'all.
Well, like we said in the title, it's an experiment.
Deb, let me show up what you're doing over there. Can you guys see him? Where's that paint bag?
It's in the drawer, I thought. You got it? Alright. If you need to move, just ask.
Okay. Alright, can you heat gun that for a second?
Yeah.
Just go fast. Okay, I think that's good. How's the base going? How's that going?
The base is actually going along pretty well.
Okay, show them how we're at over here.
It's getting some crackle and chipping, but the top is not, but I haven't been hitting it as much
I missed
with the
that part
top.
of the foot. Well, I don't really like it when my tops are super chippy. I feel like it just doesn't work the way I want it to.
Well, we'll leave the top alone then. I won't heat gun it.
I'll come back with tavern green.
Doing a little more tavern green on there. Oh, just real light over that. I like that. Sandy, it would probably not be nearly this chippy if we didn't use the heat gun. It might chip a little bit because this piece was so shiny. I mean, it's like a high gloss finish.
It's such a mess in here.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll get them the
All
little
right, let's
back
put
in
the
now.
drawers in and see what they look like in the piece.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna pull this back. Guys, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
It's not a
All right.
train wreck. It's looking amazing.
Hold on, did I leave a paintbrush in there? Or I left
Just
it
the
in?
lid for the cake batter. Nope, that's this drawer. Okay.
Oh, I'm slipping.
These had spots they fit.
Yeah, with these old dressers, you kind of have to.
Maybe the other one fit in there.
This reminds me, Debbie did a video way back when, and in the video she's like, Bobby doesn't want it chippy. but I want it chippy. And she's literally like using the paint with extra bond to push the chips back on. I'll try to get it to stick.
There we go. Now I got them in the right ones. We'll have to sand those edges.
It's all right.
And you're just adding more cake batter here and there?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yep, definitely gonna have to sand these. That one lost a lot of paint. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys in close so that we're not fighting the glare off that window.
Alright.
And Jamie's just adding little accents of yellow and the ocean color here and there. So it's got lots and lots of texture now. We have achieved that. I think once we sand it,
maximum textureness.
once this dries and we sand it, it'll look a little less bumpy. I love experimenting.
Can you wax over the transfer? Yeah, you can use clear wax. You have to use a wax that's not toxic, so we'll use DIY wax. Alright, let me put some more paint over that. Did I already put more paint over that? And then
No,
after that? No.
you haven't.
Okay. Alright, let me grab my brush.
Trouble is, we got to get it dry so we can show them the transfer. Or is the transfer not going to happen until the next video?
The transfer probably won't because we've got to get it dried and waxed and let that wax dry a little bit before.
Are you really going to wax it and then put a transfer? That's like against all the rules.
You can transfer over wax.
Yeah, but it won't have time to sit before we do the video.
But if you put a liquid top coat on this, it could be bad. So this is just that ocean color, but now I've added bond. So it should stick a little better. Should. It does, like two separate things. Remember that time I painted that dresser? Or that desk?
Oh, and the
And
whole side
I
peeled
didn't
off?
clean it. Like the whole side just completely came off. It's
Like all the paint just sheeted off.
it was funny. And I had painted it live and it was fine when I was live and then like it dried completely and the next morning I woke up and there was like milk paint all over my living room. I don't necessarily miss painting in my living room. Oops.
Well, it was still on the tarp, but
Oh, it was all over.
I'm really tempted to heat gun that.
Oh my gosh, you and the heat gun. Give it a second, Kevin, give it a second. You just want to see what it'll do, huh?
Uh-huh, a little bit. I came here today to experiment,
You
okay?
came here today to play, and this is experimental painting.
Yeah.
Experiment 101. It reminds me of those bumpy globes. Oh, like, yeah, more like, this is the what's that called, topography?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you with the heat gun. Look at you going.
Yeah, but you don't go fast enough. You gotta go.
Turn it up high and go fast.
All right, why don't you see if anybody has questions, and I'll sit over here and...
I'll look through the questions real quick. They're probably all like, oh, you guys ruined it. It always gets worse before it gets better. That's what the house is right now. It's worse before it gets better. There's literally dirt in the front yard stacked almost as high as the roof.
I just can't go over there right now. Alright, I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. I'm gonna let it air dry. Alright. Been on here 50 minutes. We have 10 minutes for questions. We're gonna let this air dry because
'Cause you're
Caitlin
worried.
says she doesn't think anybody said that it's been ruined.
Okay, all right, so real quick recap. We went on with DIY cake batter, and then we did an accent. Quick, what's this color?
Tavern green in farmhouse finishes, but you can also get it in milk paint. It's called In a Pickle in Sweet Pickens.
In a pickle. And then the ocean, and then what's the other name for it?
Sea green is, if you want to get this blue color in the farmhouse finishes, it's sea green. Well, it's easy to remember that because sea green, ocean, it's all the same.
Maggie Fletcher, this has been one of my burning questions. How much distressing and chipping is artistically appropriate?
Oh, that's
10%, 25%?
I've had 90% and been okay with it.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the piece and what you're going for. We've had stuff chip off a ton. Oh,
Remember that white piece?
Jamie's painting stuff.
Well,
Let me
I
show
need
you.
more stuff to. I need more stuff to transfer on. We got to go live on our YouTube page and Facebook at the same time, and we got to transfer stuff. So I got to get stuff painted. So I'm painting this little $3. This was $3. Plus this milk paint. Once you mix it up, you got to use it. If you don't use it, you lose it because it doesn't keep very long. So.
Chris, I did hire someone to dig the foundation out and do like all the dirt prep and things, and they hauled all the concrete, and we had a big asphalt driveway and they tore that out and hauled that off too.
Alright.
Jami, you can't go to the website just yet. They won't be up for about another 40 minutes. We'll have all the new transfers up on the website in about 40 minutes. The IOD sisters wanted to roll it out, and instead of doing each individual transfer every hour and then having someone order again and wanting to add to orders and things, we just decided to release them all at once at noon.
Just made more sense. Because you think you see your favorite one, and then you see the next one, and that's your favorite too. So I'm just always have something close by that needs a paint job. Because you gotta use up every last ounce of paint. And I added more bond to this because I don't want it to chip off of this dresser like crazy.
I did film them doing some of the site prep and digging. It basically looks like we have a huge swimming pool where the addition is going to go, because we're doing a crawl space down there underneath instead of a slab on grade foundation. And we did that because we had to raise it up quite a bit because we wanted the addition to be on the same level as as the old part of the house. So the new addition will be level with that. And if we were discussing it may have been easier to bring some dirt in and just do it. But at this point, it's already done. So we'll deal with it as we can.
We're committed.
Yeah.
We are committed. Kind of like with a paint finish. Sometimes you're committed. Hey, there ain't nothing white wax can't fix. I'm gonna take these price tags. Never paint over a price tag. It's a rookie move. Any more questions here?
Lots of comments. I haven't seen any questions.
Well, what are they saying?
Kimberly Drake, Jami, I see an enamel colander in the background. Have you ever painted them? If so, with what?
Nope, I have not. That's pretty shiny, so I would have to probably say a lot of bond and some milk paint would probably work.
You could DIY paint it.
You could probably DIY paint it, but
once you paint them, they're probably not going to be used for food ever again, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, because once it gets water in it, But yeah, I've never painted them. I'm sure you could. I've tried pretty much almost everything. I have painted bunt pans. I painted a bunt pan with farmhouse finishes, and then I white waxed it. You guys want to see what that looks like? I can go show you.
So this little suitcase won't chip nearly as much, if at all, because it was kind of like a textured fabric on the covering, and it'll just absorb that up. Plus, Jami added extra bond to it, so I don't anticipate any chipping, and if it does, it'll be very minimal on this. A lot of why this chipped is because it's shiny. So if you have, let's say you have like a piece of raw wood, and you want it to get chippy, you need to probably sand that real smooth, seal it, probably a couple of times so it does have kind of a smoother finish. Then put your paint on it, and then, because if you just go paint right on the raw wood, it's just gonna soak it up and you won't get any chipping.
So this is a colander I painted a few
That's
weeks
a
ago.
bud pan.
Or bud pan, sorry, not colander. I think we did this on the member live, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we did get some chipping because I used a heat gun on it. I used farmhouse finishes. I didn't add any bond. And then I just used white wax, and the color is julep. It was a lovely burnt orange color previously. And now, but this isn't something that somebody will use as a colander. They'll just like hang it on their wall or use it as display, but I thought it was kind of fun. So that gives you an idea of, you know, painting metal, it can be done. You can either use DIY or I would use farmhouse finishes. If you use Sweet Pickens milk paint, be sure to add bond.
So I'm looking at this suitcase. It may have been leather or like a faux leather. That's actually like where the paint's thin, that's what it looks like. So it's just absorbing it up. It's not, I don't think it'll crackle or chip at all. So Crescent Moon Cottage Farmhouse Finishes doesn't need extra bond, but because we've been having so many chipping issues, we added it in some more in hopes to kind of control that a little bit. Had we not used the heat gun and tried multiple layers over paint, because what happened is we had heat gun paint and then we put another coat on. It wasn't quite cured even with the heat gun, and then we put another coat on, and each time we were putting a coat on, it was reactivating that paint. So we're fighting a real shiny finish, and we weren't letting the paint dry in between coats. So that's probably why this has chipped so much.
But I want to show you how good it is. Can you guys see that? Like, the thing is about paint finishes, if you want them to look old, they can't be perfect. So sometimes when you're fighting against something, you get textures and layers, ridges, cracks, chips. And when this is completely dry, we'll take the sandpaper, we'll sand it really smooth. I've decided we're going to seal it with clear wax, because if I put a liquid top coat, as chippy as this is, it's going to get even more chippy. So I'll do a clear wax, and it'll be the last transfer that we apply at the end of our live. That way it will give that wax some time to dry. And then once we put the transfer on, we'll put another coat of clear wax over the top of that. Here's the thing with transfers. You can't use an oil-based top coat, and you can't use a wax that's chemically. I'm not gonna name brands because I don't want you to feel like you can only use certain brands, but there are brands, their wax is not all natural. It smells like chemicals. I don't suggest using that over the top of transfers, because anything that's got harsh chemicals in it can cause them to peel up over time. I also suggest you probably should wait over 24 hours to let your piece dry completely. We won't do that today, but I'll just take the risk. If tomorrow I come in and the transfer's peeled off, then I'll know that I need to sand it and reapply. Would you buff the wax? Yeah, we will buff it. So once this is dry completely, we'll put wax on here. We'll give it a quick buff. And we probably won't put a thick coat. It's just gonna be a light, thin coat of wax just to give us a nice smooth surface to transfer over. Then we'll transfer it, then we'll wax over the top of it. And you guys can laugh at us if we try to put the transfer on it. It doesn't work live.
Chris is wondering if you've been crying at all because Harrington's graduating. Not yet.
I cried because football season was over.
His last football game when they lost in the semifinals was a little tough.
Yeah, I cried.
Mostly because he was on the sidelines like dishing out hugs and crying.
Yeah, when you see your big old 220-pound 6'2" boy crying, it gets your mama heart going. All right, that looks good. I like ocean. That'll look good with the transfers on it. So, all right. I think we're pretty much done here with this live. In community, I will show you guys what this looks like all the way finished, and I'll give you all the deets of what actually happens. But I want to encourage you guys to be willing to play and experiment with paint, because if you don't play and experiment, you're never going to create finishes that are going to be interesting and unique. And some of my craziest finishes have been the most advantageous for my business. And sometimes I only create them that one time and I can never recreate it. So that's why I wanted to go on here live so you guys could see exactly what I did, exactly what happened, and so that way you guys know what to expect when you're playing with these paints. If you have questions when we're no longer live, you can comment below and we'll come back and answer them. Also, we are looking at replacing the book chapter starting in January. I'm thinking like a motivational newsletter every month. Let us know what you think on that. We are considering adding a Facebook group, but we're going to be doing some business coaching at a higher tier because that group will take a lot more time and probably a part-time employee to help run it. So we'll let you know about that group once it gets going and what that tier is involved, and let us know what you think about newsletters. Zeb, do you have any questions?
The chapter is going to be coming soon.
We said that 3 days ago. It's almost there.
You know, it's always in the works. But we were looking through the other chapters, and we feel like we kind of wrapped up most of what we wanted to say in that. So we're gonna bring it full circle and then start doing some editing so that they all make more sense together, because they were kind of written individually, and we might reorder them and things like that. So, and then we will have the whole thing out for you guys. I'm hoping by the first of the year, so that you can read it as just like a regular book, and then we'll continue to edit on that and hone it down and perfect it and rewrite it for probably another few months after that. So,
as always, thanks for being channel members, and give us a thumbs up or something. And we'll see you guys in
like an hour.
Yeah, in an hour. Bye,
Actually,
guys.
not even an hour.